Courtney Fallon, and welcome to the Game Plan on Reach TV, your insider guide to this week's key NFL action. In the Game Plan, I tap into the Bleav Podcast Network to bring you the most important information you need to know for this week's big games. Welcome to Wild Card Weekend on the Game Plan. Yes, we have games galore this weekend. It's football heaven. But we also have a lot of topics in the offseason to discuss. To go over the big news of the week, I'm joined by Ovie Mughelli from the Bleav in Falcons podcast. Ovie, you ready to play 3 and Out?
Let's do it.
Let's start off with first down. Ron Rivera is out in D.C. They have the second pick in the NFL draft. Do you see Washington shopping for an experienced or established head coach, or looking for a coordinator that they believe can step into the head coaching role?
I don't like coordinators. I'm an old guy football-wise, and I've been around and gone for a while. I feel like if you're a team that hasn't gotten it right in a long time, you've got to go for the sure thing. So everyone is in the Bill Belichick sweepstakes, whether they're going to say it or not. Everyone's in the Harbaugh sweepstakes. They got money. There's no cap, salary thing when it comes to these coaches. So if you can pay them and get the best, go for the best. Bieniemy is a nice coordinator that I feel like could do head coaching right. But the rest of these guys, Raheem Morris and Ben, what's his name? No, don't do that.
Second down is just Justin Fields deserve another opportunity in Chicago, or do the Bears look to draft maybe Caleb Williams and close the door on the Fields era, if and only if they can get proper draft compensation for him?
True. No, Justin Fields is amazing, but he's been also a roller coaster ride. He's had good times and bad times, and the Bears are tired of being mediocre to above average. And Justin Fields can be a great quarterback, but Caleb Williams has a higher ceiling. I think we can all realize that he has a higher ceiling right now than Justin Fields. It's just that, can he take that to the NFL? We know Justin Fields can and can do well, but Caleb, that wild card, is one they're willing to bet on. So if they can get correct compensation, I say Justin Fields, come on to Atlanta. We'll take you, be happy to have you. And Caleb, you can go to the Bears.
Okay, Ovie, third down. The Eagles were 10-1 at one point in the season, and then they fell apart on both sides of the ball. Can they pull it together and make a run to the Super Bowl? I mean, in my opinion, I think that they fall flat on their face this weekend. I don't know what happened to their defense. Wow. It's the worst defense in the NFL. What happened to the Eagles?
So everyone needs a get-right game, and a get-right game rarely happens in the playoffs and the wild card, but it can happen this time because the team they're playing is not a world beater. It's a team that the typical Eagles offense defense can wipe the floor with them. So if they can get their moxie back, their mojo, get their confidence back, because they have weapons. A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith and even DeAndre, their running back, can catch the ball, run the ball. So they can pull that out and do it and make that game turn into a W. They can make a Super Bowl run.
All right. Speed picks of the wild card games. Just name the winner. The Bills and the Steelers.
Ooh, Bills.
Bills. I got the Bills. Chiefs and Dolphins.
Yeah. Chiefs. Tyreek's going to be mad. Chiefs going to beat them.
All right. Texans and Browns.
Ooh, I love the Browns. Joe Flacco, man. Baltimore guy. He is the perfect fit for that team. So, yeah, Browns are winning.
Cowboys and Packers.
Oh, this is an easy one. Dak is not going to be denied. The Cowboys are hot. I like it.
Oh, me too.
Beat the Packers.
The Lions and the Rams. I've got the Rams. Sorry.
Oh, I got the Lions because they're a team of destiny. It's such a revenge game for Goff. He's just like, okay, you want to take me out of sunny California, send me to freaking Detroit, and to go die? I'm taking this team, resurrecting them, and going to beat the team that sent me down here. I love it. It's the very soap opera game for guys.
All right, finally, Bucks and Eagles. Listen, I'm such a Baker Mayfield fan. I think Baker Mayfield is going to take it to the Eagles. I think this is easy. I think that they cover, and I think that they win outright.
The Bucks?
Yep.
Are you serious?
Yep, I'm serious.
I like Baker Mayfield. I like his moxie. I like it when he was at the Browns. But Jalen is better than Baker. Their talent is better than the Bucks' talent. Eagles win.
Okay. Agree to disagree. That's why this is a debate football show.
I'll take it.
Ovie Mughelli, thank you so much for your time. Up next, I'm breaking down my 3 key games that you need to know for Wild Card Weekend. Each week, I like to focus on 3 key games that you need to know about. And entering wildcard weekend, I have circled these 3 matchups that we need to cover. It's the playoffs, baby! Give me some spirit fingers. Let's go. Favorite time of year. My first key game focuses on Detroit's first home playoff game since 1993 as the Rams come to town to face the Lions. This will be Matthew Stafford's first game in Detroit since being traded to sunny LA in 2021. To find out what the LA Rams need to do to upset the Lions, let's hear from Jake Ellenbogen and former Rams linebacker Cam Lynch from the Bleav in Rams podcast. Guys, what is the game plan?
Thanks, Courtney. Yeah, the Rams taking on the Lions. Cam, this is a massive matchup. I think every Rams fan wanted. But what are your thoughts going into this one about the defense? Because you got a 2-headed monster backfield in David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah, they got to stop those 2 guys that starts up front. Aaron Donald and Kobe Turner are defensive player of the year, maybe defensive rookie of the year, hopefully. And then also Jake on the back end. Sam Laporta is doing what Puka Nacua is doing by the tight end position. So we need to double team him and Amon-Ra St. Brown. So stop the run, make sure you have some takeaways on the defense, and don't allow explosive plays.
Yeah, and on the flip side of that, the Lions are really struggling to defend the deep pass. And Matthew Stafford, I mean, come on, the story's already there. Puka Nacua has a chance to shine in the spotlight and show why he should be Offensive Rookie of the Year. And this offensive line, they keep him healthy, they keep him upright. Matthew Stafford, he's going to steal their soul at Ford Field. Back to you, Courtney.
Thanks, guys, for that. Yeah, the Rams cannot let up explosive plays this weekend, or it could get ugly quick. But listen, the Rams defense is way better than the Lions pass defense. They're healthier, and they've played better in the second half of the season. And also, sorry to Dan Campbell, they've got the better coach in Sean McVay on their side. After finishing the regular season at 12-5, the Lions have been one of the surprise teams of the year. The Lions are making their first playoff appearance since 2016 after winning the NFC North Division for the first time in 3 decades. So to find out how former Ram Jared Goff can lead his Detroit Lions to a playoff win, let's hear from Jack Kavanaugh and Glover Quinn from the Bleav in Lions podcast. Guys, who gets the edge today in Detroit? Is it the old regime or the new one?
Thanks, Courtney. Glover, the Lions are hosting the first playoff game ever in the history of Ford Field, win the NFC North for the first time ever. What are you going to be focusing on?
You know what? I'm going to be focusing on, can the Lions keep their focus on the game? Not all of the hoopla, not the Stafford returning, not this being the first playoff game in 30 years, but winning the football game.
Play your game. Don't get psyched out of your mind. This is just another football team, despite the fact that Matthew Stafford is on this football team.
You know what? I think it's going to be a great game. I think it's going to be a shootout. I think Stafford will play well. I think Jared Goff is going to play well. I think in the end, the Detroit Lions is a better team.
The Lions defense also going to make enough plays against Matthew Stafford to make it fun, to make entertaining, and get the victory head on over to the divisional round. We'll see if we're playing the Cowboys, the Eagles, whoever it is. We're going to be looking forward to it. Back to you, Courtney.
Well, congrats, guys, on your first home playoff game in 30 years. This game will be high-flying and through the air. I'm taking the over in this game. The Rams are the better team all around. They played better in the second half. Again, they have the better coach. I like Kyren Williams, anytime touchdown, possibly first touchdown running back for the Rams, and the Rams to win it. My second key game for wildcard weekend is an old-school matchup. Well, the Packers are traveling to Dallas to battle the Cowboys. It's a playoff game. The Packers went on a 3-game winning streak to claim the final playoff spot in the NFC. And down the stretch, Jordan Love conquered his doubters and justified the team's belief in him. To find out how the Packers win in Dallas, let's hear from former Green Bay Packer Mike Wall from the Off the Block podcast. Mike, what is the game plan for the Packers?
Thanks, Courtney. And the Packers punched their tickets to the playoffs last weekend by beating the Chicago Bears 17-9 in Lambeau. They're up against now the number 2 seeded Dallas Cowboys, have to travel down to Arlington next week. Going to be a big matchup. So what are the 3 keys to victory? Number 1, Aaron Jones touches. Aaron Jones needs to get to that 20 mark, that 20 carry mark, and keep these second and third downs manageable against what is a really good pass rush for the Dallas Cowboys. Number 2, defensively, stay in your lane and play downhill. In order to play a competitive football game against the number one offense in the league, you have to play aggressive, you have to understand your run fits, and you have to have great eye discipline. The third thing is just trade body shots early. The Packers have to feel supremely confident that they can go into anywhere in the league right now and put points on the scoreboard. And just let Jordan Love and this young receiving core develop a feel for this game, get into the groove, because they have been explosive as of late. For more information on the Packers, follow me at MikeWall68. Thanks, and back to you, Courtney.
Mike, those are 3 great points to victory. I like that this is a controlled, non-winter environment for both teams. And I think Jordan Love is going to unleash on this Dallas defense. The Cowboys took the NFC East crown from the Eagles by going 12-5 this year. It gave them the 2nd seed in the NFC playoffs, but also matched them up with their old school nemesis, the Green Bay Packers, who have won their last 2 playoff games against the boys. To find out how Dallas snaps this playoff skid against the Packers, let's hear from Jeff Kavanaugh and former Cowboys wide receiver Jesse Holley from the Bleav in Cowboys podcast. Guys, is this Dallas's year? I think I can feel it.
Thank you, Courtney. Yes, it is time for playoff football. Dallas Cowboys will host Mike McCarthy's former team, the Green Bay Packers. What are you looking for in this one, Jesse?
Well, the Cowboys already said for the home game that they want it white out. Of course, the big story that Mike McCarthy said that he won't get involved with this time around is the fact that, Mike McCarthy is now the Cowboys head coach, and he's playing his former team in Green Bay. And we know what it was last year when they played the regular season. We know what the Cowboys have been this year at home. They've been lights out, fantastic. But they'll have their challenges. The Green Bay Packers can run the football well with Aaron Jones and Dillon. And you know what? Jordan Love, he's playing some good football. I mean, I think 18 touchdowns and 1 interception his last couple games. Like, he's found a rhythm. I'm looking for an exciting game, but I do think the Cowboys at home will probably pull this one out.
Cowboys Packers Sunday. Cowboys by 100. Back to you, Courtney.
Yes, I agree. A red-hot Jordan Love could be an issue for that Dallas D. However, this is how I see the game going. They're going to let Dak cook. He is unstoppable at home. He's comfortable there, and they're going to unleash a passing heart attack. Cowboys, in my opinion, they win this game and they move on to the division round and survive. My final key game of the wild card weekend takes us to Buffalo. Nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills. They're hosting the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers surprised the pundits by ripping off 3 straight wins to make the playoffs. To find out how the Steelers can upset the Bills at home, let's hear from Ike Taylor and Mark Burgeon from the Bleav in Steelers podcast. Guys, what can we expect from Mason Rudolph's first playoff start?
Thanks, Courtney. Steelers and Bills Sunday afternoon in Buffalo. And from the Steelers standpoint, I think about really 3 things. I'd imagine Mason Rudolph will continue to start for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers running game has gotten going with Najee Harris, Jalen Warren and company. And then Pittsburgh likely out without TJ Watt in this wild card matchup.
What I like about what Pittsburgh doing right now, Mark, is they get into that old school Pittsburgh, hand the ball off to your 2 studs and Najee and Warren and play action passing. And the whole temperatures just look different in that locker room.
And I think from the defensive standpoint, how you fill the void without TJ Watt, but then the turnovers are going to be huge as well.
Doing the exact opposite what Mason Rudolph is doing. Mason thrown for 3 touchdowns in 3 games, no interceptions.
We'll see what happens. 1 o'clock Eastern time, Steelers, Bills. In the NFL wildcard round. Courtney, we'll send things back to you.
The loss of TJ Watt will be a storyline. That is a huge problem for Pittsburgh. You know what also is a problem? The weather. So passing the ball through the air might not be so much of an option. The Bills have been one of the hottest teams in the NFL as of late, reeling off 5 straight wins, which included victories over the Chiefs and the Cowboys. They capped off the regular season by marching into Miami and stealing the AFC East crown away from the Dolphins. To find out how Josh Allen and the Bills make it 6 in a row, let's hear from Mookie Hawkins and Justice Radford from the Bleav in Bills podcast. Guys, take it away.
Thanks, Courtney. The Buffalo Bills win their 4th straight divisional title as they beat the Miami Dolphins and cap a 5-game win streak here at the end of the season in order to get it done. They're rewarded with the number 2 seed, and that comes with a Pittsburgh Steelers visit next weekend at 1 p.m.
Hold up, wait a minute. They thought the Bills was finished. 4 straight AFC East Division championships, and man, what the way to go out to do it. 5 straight. This team is definitely on a winning streak, but let's not make no mistake about it. This Pittsburgh team is on a streak of their own, and they're going to be ready to play. So it's going to be a great matchup this Sunday at Highmark Stadium.
Mike Tomlin is a Hall of Fame head coach, and he did not come to lose. So it's going to be a tough game for the Buffalo Bills on all 3 facets. We'll see if they're able to get it done and host another game in the divisional round, but we'll see what happens this weekend. That'll do it for us here at Bleav in Bills. Back to you, Courtney.
All right, don't rub it in. I can't believe this is the Bills' 4th straight divisional title. It's going to be a lot on Josh Allen to keep the ball in his hands and win the turnover margin, especially in this weather. But I think the Bills walk away victorious in this one and move on. Those are my key games for Wild Card Weekend. Next up in Pick 6, we'll be breaking down some of those key prop bets of the weekend. You don't want to miss it. Okay, it is time to play Pick 6 on the game plan, my favorite time of the show. During the playoffs, we will be looking at prop bets. To help me break down which side of these bets that you should be on, we are joined by Kasey Hudson from the Bleav Me podcast, and we are so proud that she is a woman of the NFL, and I cannot wait to have you break down these 6 prop bets. You ready, Case?
Oh my gosh, I'm so psyched. I had a solid week on Bleav Me last week. I went 5-1-1, so I'm looking to build off of that record with you today, Courtney.
And let's go. The first question, Joe Flacco versus CJ Stroud. Whose passing prop is a bigger slam dunk?
So I'll preference this by saying that I love CJ Stroud, but when it comes to the statistics walking into this, rookie quarterbacks going against veteran quarterbacks haven't found success quite yet. Flacco has hit well over 300 in 4 out of his last 5 games. I think that kind of consistency overlooked.
Okay, the slam dunk is Joe Flacco. You heard it here first. Moving on to the Chiefs and the Dolphins. This is a big homecoming game. Will Tyreek have that big breakout game? Possibly first touchdown is plus 450, or does he go under his receiving prop of the game?
I don't always love to compare games from the top of the season to this now, and I know playoffs is just a completely different vibe and atmosphere, but seeing that the Chiefs kind of held this guy to 62 yards, that's a little concerning to me now that we're seeing that he's got a lot more wear and tear on his body. So him getting that first TD, a little sticky for me. I kind of like the under receiving prop here, but Chiefs defense shouldn't be overlooked even though they've been wonky.
Kasey, I'm right with you. I think that he goes under his receiving prop because I think all eyes are going to be on Tyreek and they want to take him down.
Yeah.
So, number 3, which prop bet do you like best for Dallas and Green Bay? Jordan Love over 236 passing yards, or a Dak Prescott over on his rushing yards or his passing attempts?
Is it wild if I say I would take the Dak passing and rushing combined? Ooh. You're talking about a dude that's making 300 passing yards look like a cakewalk, and he's going against the 17th ranked defense in the league. He's going to try to have a heyday with this one. It's got to be Dak Prescott to make sure that he secures the deal for his team and lets people know the Cowboys aren't a joke.
They fall on their face in the playoffs. Let's hope this year, this might be the year. All right, number 4 is the Steelers at Buffalo. Is 36 too low to take the under, or is the weather really dictating part of this game?
So what I like this a lot actually is because when you're looking at weather situations, which I do think is going to play a factor in, you're going to want to protect the ball at all costs. So when you're looking at a guy that can get the job done, secure the ball, and get you some yards, I like James Cook to not only have a touchdown, but to pick up some major yardage. And I think it was the over rush attempts like 14 plus or something.
I think so. So
yeah, I actually really like this one. And I like to see a lot of ground in all of the chaotic weather that's anticipated.
Yes, don't fumble the ball. Moving on to the Lions and the Rams. It's the Stafford and the Goff Bowl in Detroit. We all see the over properly priced here at 51.5. So my question to you, Kasey, is which quarterback, wide receiver, or running back duo hits better with the points?
I got to go Stafford here. I mean, just to see how the Rams have completely capitalized on the pivotal moment of their season. I think between his experience, his veteran presence, and everything that he has tried to prove since stepping into LA, it's going to back him on this one.
Awesome. Last question in our pick 6. It's the best one. I have no faith in the Eagles. I'm so sorry. They are one of the worst defenses in the NFL. Now, going to Baker, I'm taking his under prop at 240 passing, but I think that they will find a way to win. What do you think?
This has been the hardest question. I've covered the Bucs for 8 seasons, honorably and proudly, but they beat themselves. I think it's the Eagles to take. Their offensive line is going to continue to allow Jalen Hurts to rack up points. They're going to be prepared for Todd Bowles to blitz all day, even though he hasn't run the blitz as much as usual. And depending on how they isolate Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, it's going to be a really ugly game.
You might cover the Bucs, but you have to be objective in this industry, and that's the type of honesty that we welcome on this show. Go check out the Bleav Me podcast. That is where Kasey Hudson she is performing. She is giving out her picks all week. Thank you so much for joining the game plan. Hope to have you on soon.
Thank you so much, Courtney.
That's all the time we have today on the game plan. Go check out the Bleav Podcast Network for more in-depth analysis on every team in the league. And as always, don't forget, you can catch every game live on Reach TV all season long. We'll see you next week.